Hey, you. I hope y'all are doing good. Hope you're having a very splendid day. So you want to activate the academic warrior within you. You've come to the right place. Let's get right into study techniques and ways to level up the academic warrior. Let's get into it. Miss a lot of caffeine at work. Sometimes, man, sometimes it's so good. Sometimes it's so good. Study methods, number one. We have what we call the blurting method. Okay? So basically, this is what is categorized under active recall. Okay? It helps you learn and retain information. How does it work? Basically, you read your notes, right? Read your notes, close them, put them away, and then you write down as much as you possibly can for whatever section of the notes you just read. Get me? So there's two ways of essentially doing this. Well, three. You can either put the notes away and then write it down, or you can blurt it out, actually say it. Try to say what you remember. Or you can do both. You can put the notes away, say what you remember, write it down, and then after you're done writing it down, open your notes and then you compare the two. Or, okay, so this will help you see the areas in which you're lacking. You feel me? Because you're gonna realize, I didn't write this point, but it's an important point. So then you can identify the areas where you might be lacking. Be good? So that is what we call the blurting method. As for writing, I know there are some people that have iPads and these Samsung tablets that you can physically write in. So you can use that. You can use your laptop to type in whatever you can remember. Or if you're on a budget, then you can use a whiteboard. You can buy a little whiteboard for $50 and the crazy store. Markers, and then you can just practice out on it, because at least then, other than taking paper and then writing stuff down, because you're going to keep redoing that process, you know what I mean? Keep redoing the blurting process until you master a topic or a concept. So because sometimes you want to avoid wasting paper, getting a little whiteboard, knowing that you can just rub it off and then write again, could work. Next, we have what is called the Feynman technique. With the Feynman technique, you explain the concepts that you're explaining to a beginner. Someone who knows nothing about what you're talking about. Okay? This person knows absolutely nothing. You're going to explain this technique to them. As if they're brand new in the game. And after explaining it, you're going to go through the way you explained it. And then that's going to help you, because you're going to have to simplify it. The more you simplify it, the better you understand the topic. You know that too. So you can do it with a friend. You can do it with study group, assigning topics and then someone goes reading material, you're explaining this concept. You repeat the technique until you master the topic. Because you can do it on your own. You can read it. You can read your notes. And then after that, you're gonna talk to yourself essentially. Gonna explain the concept to yourself and stuff. And then you're gonna go back to your notes and see if there's anything you forgot to explain or you didn't explain right. And then you redo it until you master the topic or the concept. Right? That is the Feynman technique. And then we have what we call the second brain method. This method of studying is based on the idea that our brains are not built to recall every single thing you've learned your entire life. You know what I mean? From birth up to now, every single thing you've learned, you will not remember it, So with the second brain technique, you create a second brain. How do you do that? Essentially, you collect your information first, right? So if you're in tertiary school or whatever, you're going to get your whatever PowerPoint your lecturer was using. You're going to get the books that you're supposed to use for the module or the subject, whatever. You're going to collect the journals, the articles, YouTube videos, everything. Collect all the data you need. That's the first step. And then after you collect the data, you organize it, right? This is where what other people would actually consider the studying part of things. You organize the data, bring it all together. Because again, now you go through everything, you bring it together, and then you summarize that data, you organize it so that it's easier to find, right? Because essentially, it makes it easy for you to find data if you know where everything is stored because it's organized. You know what I mean? Instead of flipping through pages, trying to read 3 textbooks when there's 48 hours before an exam, you're panicking, you're crying, your head is aching, you are feeling dizzy because you haven't eaten, you didn't drink water because you think you can cram everything all at once. We don't do that anymore, okay? So, by taking your information, summarizing it, organizing it, so it's easier to find everything, the last thing you would need is to retrieve the information, basically. So, next we have what we call the loci method. So, if you know what the word loci means, it basically means it's like the plural of locus. And if you know locus, you know it means location, right? Right. So, the loci method, it's basically a strategy for memorizing information, but it works best when it's like things that are supposed to be done in a specific order. You feel me? So, you're gonna visualize yourself, let's say in a room, and you're gonna take that piece of information one by one in order, put it in the room, then come back for the second one, put it in the room, and then that. And then you're going to visualize yourself walking back into that room and picking them up again in order. You feel me? So I think I'll give an example and say it works best for like an example being like recipes. Let's say you're making saban, okay? Yeah, saban. You gotta picture yourself, guys. Please don't shame me for the way I make saban. Next dish. You're gonna visualize getting the water, pouring it into the pot, and then putting in the salt, and then the oil, and then the saban, like in order of doing that. That's how you're going to do it. Ne? That is the loci method. It works best for memorizing things that have to be done in a specific order. And then we have what we call inversion learning. It means learning a concept by learning its inverse, its opposite. You know what I mean? So, for example, we can, instead of looking up how to stay focused, you could look up potential distractions. You know what I mean? Instead of looking up how to stay focused when studying, you could look up potential distractions while studying. So by doing that, you know the things that could distract you. You just know not to do that. See? So by doing that, you've learned the things that could help you focus by doing by looking up the inverse of them. This could work like problem-solving situations and stuff like that, or like starting something, looking up, instead of saying, what are the best things, like what is the best thing that could come out of this? You could also look up the things that could cause you failure, right? Yeah, like, okay, I'm going to look for the things that could cause me failure in this particular thing. That way, you can avoid them. It works amazingly for critical thinking and problem solving. That's what it works best for. So that's inversion learning. And then we have what we call spaced repetition. This is a technique where you go to class today, right? You learn what you learn. When you get home, this is basically going through the content you learned in increased intervals. You're gonna go through what you learned when you get home today, and then you're gonna go do it over the weekend or next week, and then 2 weeks from then, and then a month from then, and then 3 months from then. just to keep seeing how, if you're retaining the information. Now we're going to move on to like combating potential study issues, procrastination. What I do, basically, I set personalized deadlines. What do I mean by that? I mean, basically, if I'm told you have an assignment you need to like submit on like the 30th of January, I'm going to set a deadline for myself. That's not the deadline I was given. You know what I mean? I'm going to be like, okay, so I'm going to be done with that assignment on the 20th of January, or I'm going to be done on the 25th of January, right? Setting your own goal that isn't the one you've already been given, and then holding yourself accountable to deliver. Because when it's a goal you set yourself, you feel terrible when you set a goal for yourself and then you fail to deliver because you're failing yourself. So that's what I use for procrastination. Okay, exhaustion. So you know how we procrastinate and then there's like a week left for the exam. What worse, people start studying 72 hours prior to the exam. You burn yourself out because you're trying to study for 6 hours straight. We're not going to do that this semester. Coming semester, our academic warriors start warrioring. Okay. So we're going to use, there's something called gap learning. So studies have shown that if you randomly pause during your study sessions, you randomly pause and leave your brain idle for a few minutes, it increases your rate of learning. Essentially, gap learning, you just pause. You don't watch television, don't do anything. There's just a small pause where you just let your brain do its thing for a few minutes. You don't pick up anything else, just pause and jump right into the studying game, especially if you're taking, if it's like an intense, maybe 3-hour study, like the random pauses would be helpful, right? And then take short breaks throughout your study sessions. I'm gonna move on to like little tips for staying focused. Now you're studying there. Your books are here, your pens are here, your highlighters, your colored pens, everything. Okay? 1, you can use like lo-fi beats or like instrumentals. Me personally, I will listen to like worship song instrumentals on YouTube. Like I will turn them on and then headsets in, right? Because we don't want distractions around us. Headsets in, we're focused, and then the reason why I'm saying beats for instrumentals is sometimes when you listen to song lyrics, next thing you know, you're singing with the song or dancing, you forgot all about the fact that you're trying to study, So instrumentals help with that. Second point, you should be in a quiet, low stimulus environment with minimal distractions. Next is chewing gum. This is what works for me. If I'm studying and I'm chewing gum, you better know I'm getting everything in there. I don't know why, I don't understand the science, but chewing gum helps me focus when I'm studying. I feel like making this video, to be honest, is going to hold me accountable because I came to you guys clearly looking at I'm doing this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have to do it because if I don't, I'm a fraud. So let's just hold each other accountable this coming semester. Let us turn our grades around. Let us do better, be better, feel better. So if you guys have anything to add, feel free to comment down below. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Link down the description below. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.